Hey everyone, my name is Will Martin, and this is my featured digital library presentation, where I will be talking about the Internet Archive. The Internet Archive, as this tagline states, is a nonprofit library of millions of free books, movies, software, music, websites, etc. The Internet Archive is absolutely huge with the scope of their mission and goals. And so for this presentation, I will be focusing on one sub-collection of the Internet Archive, being their websites. But don't worry, they have over 538 billion of them stored in their digital library. And that is absolutely crazy to me. But before we dive into their websites and navigate through those, let's look at some of the greater general goals of the Internet Archive itself. So as I mentioned earlier, the Internet Archive is a nonprofit. Most of their funding comes from a mixture of individual contributions as well as foundation level contributions from some pretty large notable players such as the Andrew Mellon Foundation, the Knight Foundation, and the National Science Foundation, to name a few. And their mission is to provide universal access to all knowledge. That is a pretty large goal. And they're quantifying, they're qualifying knowledge as web pages, books of text, audio recordings, image software, pretty much anything that can be captured in a scan or a file. But I want to focus on the 475 billion web pages because that's just mind-boggling to me. So I can go here. Their website, their web page archive is known as the Wayback Machine, and that is named as such because you can view way back into a website's history. So if I were to go to google.com, if I could type google.com in the Wayback Machine, I can search by specific URL, and I will be brought here to a graph over time of the number of snapshots that the Wayback Machine has taken of that website. And so snapshots is just the term that the Wayback Machine uses for when they go to the URL and they download the information there and store it on their server. So if I were to go to the latest snapshot here on February 16th, when I was recording again, I could view this, and this looks pretty much like Google would look like otherwise, except I am at a sub-page of the Internet Archive. And if I were to navigate through this website, I would be brought to other archived versions of the website and its subpages. You can see, being a nonprofit, there's also some nonprofit speeds. And so the navigation between different pages and different snapshots is a little slow as a technical limitation. However, I'm not only limited to searching for full URLs, I can also search keywords that are in the website titles. And so if I were to search for Google, I can view any websites on the Internet Archive that have Google in the title. At this point in time, there is not full text search of the website stored in the Wayback Machine, so I can't search for text that might be on the google.com snapshot, but that is something that the Internet Archive plans to add in the future. And this is actually my second time recording this because the first time I searched for cat because I wanted to see some cute cat websites, and it's important to remember that the internet is not always child-friendly. And so when we are saving snapshots of the internet on the Wayback Machine, it's not always child-friendly as well. So that's important to take into account if you or someone you know is using this website. But what does it mean to save a snapshot of a website? Well, in one way, that's going to the Wayback Machine, which I forgot to mention is at web.archive.org. Going there, and I can go to Save Page Now, and I can save any website I want to. So as an example, I'll do my website. And just click Save Page. Save Page again. And it says a snapshot was captured. Visit page. So let's go here, wait for it to load again with this nice load time. And I should see a snapshot of my personal website as well. Oh, but wait, this is a little broken. This is not exactly how my website looks like. It is stylistically not all there. And so why is that happening? To see why that's happening and to see some of the technical limitations of the Wayback Machine, let's examine what a website is just as a very quick introduction. So if I were to go to my website, here's what it actually looks like at this point in time. And I can go here and I can right click, inspect, and I can see that my website is really, at the end of the day, just a file, right? It's called an HTML file, hypertext markup language. And I can go and I can see, okay, I have hi here. That's in here. Oh, it's just a header element. I have my other stuff, but websites are not always this simple, right? Some websites include a lot of dynamic content, like Facebook, for example. Facebook, rather than everything being written ahead of time in an HTML file, all of the content is grabbed from a server whenever you visit the web page. So I'm logged into Facebook, it goes to a server, it grabs all the posts that should be on my newsfeed. That's great for Facebook, but it's not that great for the Internet Archive. And let me show you why. So with this kind of example, it's really easy for the Internet Archive to just save this file to their database and then show it when someone wants to see it. But with something like Facebook, rather than having all of this content in the website, it's all abstracted away. Instead of that, you might see like an empty div element, which is just saying, hey, load a whole bunch of stuff here. And then all that stuff is just being loaded by a JavaScript file from some remote database. And so if you save this file to the Internet Archive from Facebook, for example, it's not going to be a lot of good for looking at the archived content. And so those are some of the technical limitations of the Internet Archive. Not everything works exactly as it should right now, but it is an active development, and hopefully those goals will be met sometime in the future. A couple other things that I wanted to talk about for the Internet Archive include it is completely free to use. They don't charge anything for their services. However, they do offer some premium services outside of their core mission, such as if you want to automatically archive some of your websites, they offer a service for that, but it's completely free to use otherwise. And I think that covers everything that I wanted to talk about today. So thank you so much for listening, and have a great night.